Jim, we're on Avenue of the Cities and 16th Street here in Moline, where this gas station behind me is actually one of the few places off of 16th Street with power. These are the waters 2 hospice nurses were venturing through this afternoon, and that ignited a fire on there, which ignited the fire on the next bus, and pretty much it was a chain reaction all the way down. And I'll move out of the way so you guys can check this out, but as you can see behind me, half of the house completely burned. But up here you also get a view of the west end of downtown Davenport. You see Modern Women, and you also see the band shell in LeClaire Park. Water up to the stage. Milltown Coffee isn't the only business on the river's edge that reopened this weekend. Across the way, the Freight House Farmers Market is gearing up for vendors to set up their stand. It's awkward right now. You go in for a handshake to realize that's not the wisest decision. Right now we're flying on autopilot in what's practically an emergency room. Farmers are planting their rows closer together, and that means more corn per acre. And although there's no game, they're still finding a way to get the fans their food. 2 mustard, please. Fire crews hose down what used to be this yellow Carbon Cliff home.
I was panic-stricken.
Across the street,
and she saw the aerosol cans flying through the windows.
Michelle David didn't see what happened.
His daughter was playing.
She heard it.
I didn't realize a big boom would end up being my neighbor's house.
She says that boom turned into 3.
Whatever started that was hot. Really freaking hot.
The Silvis and Carbon Cliff fire chiefs say the fires started in the garage, spreading to the house.
It's gut-wrenching seeing my neighbor pull up to see his house.
From Michelle's front porch, her view will serve as a reminder.
Within a matter of seconds, your life is altered. When it's your neighbor, that neighbor's your friend, that's part of our community, it's gut-wrenching.
As this scene of lights extinguishes what light is left in this home. In Carbon Cliff, Marissa Sulek, WQAD News 8. After pulling through uncertain times, we all could use a push back to normal.
Right now, it's just first years on campus.
And for those starting at Luther College, they're the first to test the water.
Stretch back. We are rehearsing outdoors at the Decorah Municipal Pool.
It's an idea conductor Mark Potvin envisioned while on the search for a new practice space in Decorah. A space that would confine the group, but keep them spaced out to prevent any spread of coronavirus.
I was driving past on College Drive, and I looked over at the pool and realized, oh my gosh, they're draining the pool this weekend.
With lane lines to social distance.
When we're outside, we get to practice for an hour, but indoors are limited to half an hour.
And masks to stop any spread of germs.
If all we have is our eyes, we gosh darn better use them, right?
This empty pool does anything but drain their sound.
Mr. Potvin said that I should try to bring someone with me, like, to make the choir bigger. And he said the incentive should be that we're singing in a pool. And I said, oh.
Synchronized singing is what this 40-member strong Norse Corps men's choir is known for.
By just having a little bit of lift in the sound, just a little bit of a hard surface, there's something there. Little Schubert, please, to finish out the evening.
It's very different. You really have to perfect your vowel shapes.
And while this is far from traditional,
1, 2, 3.
It's a way to come together.
In like so much uncertainty and coming here, everything being new, that there's some things that we can do to make things feel as normal as possible. Not that this is conventional.
And it's proof to think outside the box.
Norse Corps, listen to you! Bravo! That's fantastic. Base 2 is
You might have to go in it. In Decorah, Iowa, Marissa Sulek, WQAD News 8.
I think everything pretty much unfolded within maybe 8 or 9 hours.
It's an investigation that came together quickly, but it took Moline police a while to realize Jordan Burroughs was missing in the first place.
She had been communicating with family and friends via text message, which turns out that it was Kyle the entire time.
Know it in her head.
We spoke with Burroughs' daughter about a week ago. She says she was one of the people on the other end of the phone.
I could tell that it was like different from usually how she texts, and just her different kind of language. I knew something was up, so I sent it around to like my family and friends, and I was like, guys, does this sound like my mom? Does this sound like something she would say? And they were like, no.
Police say the text messages said she broke up with Dykeman and moved to Des Moines. But Jada says she would never do that.
Her text messages stopped, we believe, on November 7th. So after all communication had stopped, then I think the family members and friends became more suspicious.
2 weeks after the text stopped, police say friends and family reached out on social media. And with their help, police say they had the evidence they needed.
But the totality of all the different bits and pieces the family and friends were put together, when you put it together, it made a full puzzle, and that you're like, oh my God, something's not right here.
In Moline, Marissa Sulek, WQAD News 8.